What's going on, YouTube? So if you guys been following along, some people did notice in one of my latest videos for the review of the Sony Mach 3 that I did have a new pair of headphones. These are the Thor mjolnir Mach 2s, and I'm going to give you guys a brief comparison between the Thor mjolnir Mach 2s and the first model, the Thor mjolnirs. So they do come from Linsol in these generic cases. And on the Mach 2s, I have an aftermarket cable. I think this is the nickel cable. And this is the stock cable on the mjolnir Mach 2s. So they both have somewhat of an acrylic shell. A resin shell. And are distinguishable by the caps. So if you take a look at those caps there, one has kind of like an abalone finish and the other one has like a speckle, like a fish type pattern or a cobblestone. Both are smooth to the touch, no issues there, but you will see a noticeable difference in how they sound. Both of them are a single dynamic driver and they're quite distinguishable from one another. So the Thor mjolnirs, the first model, it's extremely low end responsive. You're going to get a lot of low end with these and a whole lot of sub bass. It will bleed throughout the remaining of the track as you listen, and you can expect to not get a whole lot of details when listening to the Thor mjolnirs. But if you anticipate that already when you buy these, or if you have these, because they're no longer in stock, they retailed at about $200. If you expected that when you got them, then normally you know what to go to when you listen to them. You know exactly where it is you want to go, exactly what it is you want to listen to, and you're not going to be too overly critical of the mids or of the treble. Now with the Thor mjolnir Mach 2s, it's a lot more refined. You're going to get a lot more detail. The mids aren't as recessed. It's very much so even mixed in. It's not going to overly accentuate the mids, but if a track does come along to have significant bass response, you will hear and feel it. And you'll get quite a bit of detail along with these too. It's not the most OCD pair of headsets, but you'll get quite a bit of detail with them in the treble response. Yet it's still comfortable, at least for me, who's somewhat treble sensitive. So I'm extremely comfortable with this type of listen. There are some tracks, some artificial bass that you will get a less consistent response from, but you know, that kind of comes with the territory. I do believe that they are a good update to the Thor mjolnir Mach 1s. I do believe they are. So if you were fortunate enough to get the Mach 2s, then these retail at double the cost of the Mach 2s at about $400. Sometimes you can catch them on sale. I got them for about $370 through a pre-order deal. It is a significant upgrade from the Mach 2s if we're just talking about sound quality and its ability to adjust to different type of frequency responses with different types of music. But this right here is definitely one of the bassiest sets I've ever heard in my life, and I'm taking these as far as bass goes over my Empire Ear Legend X customs. Mind you, the Legend X, once you get them customized, it does kind of open up a lot more, so that bass, that overly extenuated bass response is not as heavily done as it is with the stock because it's custom. But yeah, these right here are crazy bass responsive. These right here, you're gonna get the bass response, you're gonna hear it, it's definitely there, but you're also gonna get everything else in between there, and it's gonna do a pretty good job through the playback of almost any genre of music you have. Unless there's some artificial bass throughout the track, it can have some trouble with the technicalities. It can have some trouble with the execution of the technicalities if there is some artificial bass splattered throughout the track, or if there are sudden movement changes and rhythmic changes throughout the track. That's something that I've noticed. But this is my short little review of the Thor Mjolnir Mach 2s in comparison to the Thor Mjolnir Mach 1. I do have the complete set here. Love both of these sets. Very fun to listen to. Alright guys, that's about it for this video. I do have an aftermarket cable that I'm going to be installing for the Mach 2s here. This is going to be a 4x4, 4.4 balanced cable by Hakugi. And this is my second cable by them. Love the first one, so I decided to get this. And we'll see how this works out. Alright guys, have a great rest of your day. If you haven't checked out some of my other videos, go ahead and check some of those out. There's links down in the bottom of the description to some of my gear that I have and some of the things that I have. If you'd like to support the channel, go ahead and subscribe, like the video so other people can see it. And I'll be back again with another one soon. Thank you.